Hey guys, Moss here. Hope you're doing well. We'll go ahead and get started in just about a minute. Again, get comfortable. This is this is Moss on Sundays analysis, which I help you understand why your life is the way it is, and then help you shift. Just getting ready for afterwards, where I talk about eternal love, why it doesn't work in this reality, and then how you can achieve it in this reality. So looks like if you guys can just give me a heads up on the mic situation, on if you can hear me okay. I think that'd be fantastic. All right. So again, a lot of new people on the call, so that's really fantastic as well. So thank you for that. So we'll just jump right in. Again, my name is Sajady, and I've had two near-death experiences, and from those two near-death experiences, been really fortunate enough to see things from a very different perspective. Now, from a much higher level of consciousness, and this is where, and I know it might get frou-frou and all that stuff, but not not really. When inventors and that aha moment of great ideas come, where do they come from? Right? They come from the ethers. Well, I live in the ethers now, all the time. Inventors usually go into the ethers, grab their ideas, and then come back down. The key, again, this is the key, and this is what exponential intelligence is all about, is well, how do I just live in those higher levels or higher states of consciousness constantly? So if you did live that, you would be younger, more youthful, abundant, wealthier, whatever it is that you would need and beyond would be yours. Right? Guaranteed. There's not a lot of things I can guarantee, but I can guarantee you that, okay? Because I've been there. I've helped hundreds of thousands of people understand that. So let's release, say, the blocks or the baggage that keeps you here. And you'll see from my analysis that, what you think is here, what you think keeps you down or keeps you not happy or not complete is probably very different than what I see, because I see the deeper level. So this goes beyond psychology and hypnosis and neuro-linguistic programming, prayer, and all that stuff, money, all that stuff that we think. So we'll go to Jenny. Here it is. It says, my 15-year-old son is here with me. Can you see if he has any programming that is showing his physical growth, that is slowing his physical growth? Sure. And even before I saw that, it's almost like something holds him back, obviously. And I know you probably tried a lot of things, but his father, when he was younger, from what I'm seeing, actually saw things. So on his father's side, from what I'm seeing, he, if you want to call it a curse or like let's see, how do I say it? So his father sees a lot of things, a lot of presences, a lot of things that are out there. And I actually did a Moss on Sundays on, what's beyond the veil. So what happens though is that those presences become so real that they dominate. So his father, again, kind of stunted. And then for him, your son, he opened up, gateways or possibilities or realities out there for him around 8, 9, 10. And as he got into puberty, again, it kind of slowed time down. So literally, he walks through life kind of like molasses. He has to do a lot more than most to go through, and because it's like a vortex pulling him back. And then also seems like, and again, I might be totally off, but probably not, around 10, 11, 12, 13, the two of you not you and your son, you and the husband had some, say, marital issues or family type issues, whatever that might be, whether it's the two of you or, your family. Those things, when kids see that, it's just like, oh shit, I don't want to go forward in that respect. So those are the two scenarios. One, different realities that are open, pulling them back, and then also say the home life. Um, a lot of turbulence. Let's just call it that. And it's like shit. I don't want to age, and that's my future. I'm going to grow up and just repeat that same stuff. So your son like pulling back because I see some fear. So let's get rid of the two. Buddy, if you're listening, you do not have to say go and play the same theme as, especially your mom, because your mom's nice, but again, she suffocates the hell out of you. So that's another aspect where you can't find yourself again. Things always slowing you down. So let's just get rid of all that stuff for you. So as a um, as a confirmation that because especially people who are new, it's like, well, what the fuck did he do? Well, I changed his frequencies, his programming. Okay, I don't need a keyboard and mouse. I can change your programming. Okay, and yes, it does work. I've had hundreds of thousands of people transform. So for you, buddy, you'll probably get a little more angry, a little like push people away, especially your mom, dad, everybody around you. That's a good sign for the parents of this kid. Allow him to do that, obviously with respect, and then that's how he finds himself. Okay, so he's basically pushing everybody's identity that just like floods into him, including presences on the other side as well. So again, hopefully that helps. Comment back in, okay, if that's accurate. I'm sure it is. But for those people who are new, that don't believe, this one is. Oh, here's another one. Guru, can you help my son with depression and anxiety, please? Sure. Again, same thing. Hell, I guess this is a parent's theme. So what happens there is that your your insecurities, from what I'm saying, your insecurities, you basically put all your worries and all your fear into your kids. I think you have two, maybe three. I see two or three. One might have gotten sick or ill or or died. So it's either like two living kids or well, let's remove. Well, anyway, you have one child that you lost. So let's help them cross over. So that's part of your fear. So again, all your fears are pushed into your child, and it's like, oh, don't do that. You've got to be careful to do this and this and this, and then again, a suffocation of your child, and your child can't grow. Imagine that you're this, you're a bigger tree, and then the tree next to you is smaller, your kid, but then you're covering to protect him of the sunlight that's coming through, so he can't grow, he can't expand. So I would be depressed too. It's like, hey, you can't do anything other than say what I say. And I'm saying it in maybe a rude way and so on, and that's good, because you need to wake up and just go, hey, that's right. My fears are my fears. I can't push that into my son, my child's fears. So allow him to make mistakes, allow him to, and he'll be fine. That's how people grow. It's the same consciousness government has that we hate, isn't it? It's like, we have to protect you from the virus. You just stay dumb and and not expand, and then we'll just take care of everything. Well, this is what happened in today's society. Everybody expects everything. I'll be the same. I'll stay the same, and then everything else should protect me. It doesn't work that way. Allow them to get into situations, allow them to get hurt, and that's how life grows. That's how you expand. Even from viruses, you get some virus, you strengthen, and then you move on. Simple as that. You can't stop, say, the evolutionary process of expansion, whether it's a virus or whether it's a child. You just have to let them grow. Otherwise, well, you get issues like what you have. Okay. This one is, Moss, could you please scan me? I feel directionless where I want to go for a career of an unemployed and I don't. So for you, this is Destiny. Yeah, so Destiny, from what I'm seeing, it seems like you have been, with XI for a bit. And the reason why I say you're directionless is because a lot of times what people have, when people have a direction, it's because they haven't found themselves, right? They haven't found themselves, and what they're trying to do is like find themselves. So they get a career, they get a job, they get a relationship, they save the whales, they go into Black Lives Matter, and all the stuff that for a purpose, because that gives you a purpose. And again, I'm not discrediting any of those things, but that's what most people do. It's not because they literally care about Black lives or anything like that. It's just that it defines who the hell they are, especially white people. So so now that, well, shit, you found yourself, through exponential intelligence, you found yourself. So it's like, where am I going to go? So what's the big version of that? So with that in mind, now that you found yourself, instead of most people trying to say do something, accumulate money and all that stuff to find themselves, even if you're a Bill Gates and Rothschild and all those people out there, they're still trying to define themselves, and that's why they need more and more control of people. So so for you, now that you found yourself, and the world is kind of going, say, topsy-turvy as well. It's going crazy because, again, most people are starting to awaken that what they're doing as far as a slave nation, as far as working their ass off every day, not defining who they are, but doing whatever they do for fiat currencies or fiat money that is not worth anything in the long run. Even ask people who are billionaires, and they die, do they really care about their freaking money? No. And I'm not saying money is bad. I'm not saying you stay away from money, because poor people are just as bad. Simple as that. They just die in a more uncomfortable place. So again, that's not the key. Okay. Key is that once you found yourself, and where was I? Kind of going on a rant now. So the world is off center as well. They're awakening. So you're getting affected by what's happening around you. Okay, so a lot of disillusionment happening in the masses, which is really good. Your disillusionment comes from you elevating yourself to a higher level, Destiny, and then looking down at society and going, shit, that was me. And again, comment back if that's accurate. It's like, wow, there are a lot of disillusionment. I should be disillusioned as well, because you're comparing yourself of that human consciousness. In reality, you're separating yourself from the human consciousness, and that does cause confusion. So if you hold on a bit and stabilize yourself, you'll see a bigger version of why you are here, Destiny, which is really fantastic. In about 2 months. So February, maybe, yeah, end of January, February, you get to have, say, a career that really, say, fulfills you in all aspects. It's like you get into a small group of friends that just aren't, say, like people you work with, but like long time, loving friends that hang out with you. So that's where you'll be. Okay, let's go to. Can I get a checkup? Poppy Rose's injury. Can I get a checkup from my April scan? I feel stagnant. I don't know how to get unstuck. Same thing for you. The difference there. This is on Instagram. That you you're feeling the pull of your family right now. So whatever that you've done with me has allowed you to get stronger and better. But you haven't like moved away from the family patterns, family dynamics. You've just gotten like stronger and better. It's like, you want to leave and you're preparing your bags, but you haven't left. So in this little mini session here, let's help you disconnect. It's like you have to do something now. You have to take action. You can't just like, okay, I understand this. Your bags are packed. You're prepared. So I'm just going to push you out the door, whether you feel ready or not. Okay. And what you're doing, by the way, if I don't push you out, natural force as well, that you'll get more and more irritated with your family. You'll get more and more irritated with the situation that you're in. And I think you're actually like an actual physical move is in the cards for you from what I'm seeing. Yeah, because you literally have to start a brand new life. So that's where you are, where you can't hold on, because it's like, I know this is the stronger version of me, but I'm going to hold on to my old self because of guilt, because of fear, because of whatever it is, because of you want to be complete with the family. It's not going to work out. Once you're awakened and you know the truth, how can you go back? Again, it doesn't work out. So let's separate you completely, and then you're forced out to be in the open, on the stage of your life, which is really fantastic. At first, obviously, you get nervous, you get scared, because that's again your old patterns, and then you'll try to go back. But even if you do go back, it's not going to work out, because again, you know too much, you're awakened. So just keep going forward. So don't look back, just go forward. That part I can't help you with. I can push you out into the open, but I can't consciously control your mind. Anyway, so you go forward and you'll see that you'll get confident. It's like you can do things on your own. This is where, say your self-awareness comes through, your self-confidence comes through, all aspects of you get stronger and better. And that's where you, will cherish yourself. And that's what you've always wanted. So that's what you're getting. Again, when people get what they want, there is some work involved, obviously, but once you get what you want, it might not be the way that you want it, because what you want, if you're, if you're looking at something from a distorted point of view, right, and you want it, and then you get it, you have to say remove the lenses for you to attract that one thing that you want. If that makes sense to you. So when you do get it, it probably looks different, because you think, I'm going to freaking stay the same, and then I'm going to be this better person. So that's the dilemma that you have. You can't stay the same and then say that better person that you are. I don't know what reality. I don't think there's any reality actually that works that way. It certainly doesn't work in math. So again, it won't work here, because everything that we do, guys, is all based on, say, math and physics, literally. Love, that we'll be talking about, eternal love, coming up at 10:45 my time, is on the formula on how to create eternal love. Again, the formula. It's not a woo-woo stuff, or it's not like, oh, let's just feel love and light and then forget about everything else. And that shit doesn't work. And you can see the world, it hasn't worked out. So, and that's why, because nobody knows or understands the formula. They just want that, like, say, eternal love. So we'll move on. We'll go to, there's so many, sorry guys, it just, get, let's see. Boss, can you please scan me and my love relationship? Thank you. This is on Facebook, I believe. So yeah, so it's interesting that now it seems like you've been with me for a bit, which is really fantastic, and well, not too long from what I'm seeing, but what's happening is that you're really starting to define who you are, which is really fantastic. But part of that is that it just seems like you feel more feminine to me, but you have a masculine identity around you. So if you're female, you'd have a masculine identity around you. If you're if you're male, you'd have a feminine identity around you. I can't quite tell which is which. And again, that's the issue. Because most of the time I can feel, a strong male frequency or a strong female frequency. And I'm not saying you're gay or lesbian or anything like that, but there's just like a strong mix in you. Say, for example, that it seems like you're feminine with a masculine identity. So say that you're female, but you've always been scared, or you had a father that always, say, protected you. right? And now you have this masculine identity. It's like, oh, that's how I protect myself. That's how I become abundant. That's how I do that, through a masculine identity. And, that you've done, say, fine. But what's happened is that you've pulled everything of those success mechanisms into you. A lot of women do that, unfortunately, right? They have a successful father and all that, and they just go, well, I'll copy father's success. And the problem with that is that you're copying every aspect of the success, including the masculine frequencies that got them to that level. But you're female, okay? And as you're female, well, the masculine identity, especially as you start to say, uncover yourself and realize who you are, that's what's say bothering you and the relationship, because you tend to be, again, a more masculine identity in a relationship. So let's help you say peel that away even more now that you're separating that identity. And again, please comment in. But that's what seems to be happening for you. So it's a nice place to be. It's just like your next level that you're going into, right? You've peeled away, say, family value structures and all that stuff. Now you're coming into yourself. This is really cool for you, because this is where there's a lot of women that have, they might be, and I've worked with, a lot of like, very beautiful women, but they have this masculine quality to them, right? So, but this is where you start to become more female, more feminine. Your body structure shapes, turns into more female, an XI female, exponential intelligence female, which is a strong, female that is confident and complete and beautiful inside and out. So that's what you're turning into. Obviously, it changes the relationship because your partner has to say accommodate that as well, because, well, you feel like you're the man in the relationship. So that has to switch around. So you're in a good place, by the way, a really fantastic place. This one is Salonga, Andre. Hamas, can you work on me, please? Sure. It just seems like there's a separation of you and your family, from what I'm seeing, and it's a good thing. Before you were so entangled in your family, and now you say separated, which is really good, and you just need confirmation, basically, that it's okay. You've seen a lot of changes with exponential intelligence, which is fantastic as well. So let's just give you that extra booster, that confidence. Some people just need to go, it's okay where you are, go out and do it. So that's you. So you know what? It's okay where you are. Just go out and, go adventure, go do it. Okay. So really nice place to be. In about 8 minutes, guys, we'll go to Moss on Sundays, the deep science. We'll be talking about eternal love, what eternal love is, why it doesn't work in this consciousness, and then how to say live in the consciousness that eternal love does exist in. This one is Gold Bike, feeling more balanced after the human reset. Can you check in on my 9-year-old son? He has PTSD, and I see his passive aggressive patterns similar to mine and his dad's. Yes, thank you so much. You're so welcome. And again, total human reset, guys. We'll end up probably doing that in late February. For those who are new, it's the fastest way to transform all aspects of your life. Literally, it is the fastest way. And those who have done human reset, please comment back for those who haven't. So it's a great, say, New Year, especially with 2020 being the way it's been. It's a great way to reset everything, right? So we'll do that in February. But for you and your son, the nice thing about that, about where you are, is that you've literally analyzed where you are. When somebody can see clearly what's happening, or the frequencies that's running in their, say, family dynamics in this case, right? You just explained it. He has PTSD, and I see his passive aggressive pattern similar to mine and his dad's. So you can't be in the same consciousness or reality and say that. You would have to step outside of your reality and go, oh, this is what's happening, right? Again, you would have to remove yourself of that consciousness. So give yourself, a fantastic pat on the back, a huge hug. That is so fantastic for you and your 9-year-old, because now, since you moved out of that consciousness, you're not supporting, say, those patterns, okay, of passive aggressive and so on like that. You're not supporting that. So now your son is like flip-flopping. He has to get more passive aggressive to, say, run that pattern. So that's just part of the consequences, right? Because you're not supporting it, and I don't think the father, he's basically awakening as well from what I'm seeing. So I think because of you, the father's changed as well, which is really fantastic. So anyway, so that consciousness that your son is, say, connected to, from mom and dad, it doesn't matter. You're not supporting it anymore, and he's flailing. He's going, shit, what do I do? I need this consciousness to survive. So he gets unstable. So he'll get a little more passive aggressive because that's all he knows. But then in a very short time, he starts to see you getting stronger, especially after this mini session here, because, it's like you're not going to stop for anybody, which is really fantastic. You're just not going to, it's like, shit, I found my life. I'm going to go out and explore. I don't care. That's really a great place to be. Okay. Don't wait for anybody. And I know it sounds selfish and stuff, but if you're on this, say, you've got momentum, by the way, and I'm reading all three of you actually. So you've got so much momentum. I would just take it because your husband, your son, and whoever else is around you. I see one or two other people around you. Anyway, they'll go, shit, where's mom going, man? I want to go adventure after her. And then again, you create that whole new family dynamics that you've always wanted. That closeness that you've always wanted. At first, again, there is a separation because you have to get rid of the separation is getting rid of all your shit that's in between each of one of you. So you run off and then be your best possible self. Your kids follow. For your son, helping him start to realize, so that start to realize that, shit, I can't support this anymore, and nor would I want to, right? Because a lot of times, you have a choice, but he's only 9 years old. It's like, shit, why would I do that? And then his real self comes in, which is really, say, a lot of creativity in music. He seems to like music, not playing music, but like he has a special ear for like patterns and sequences. Yeah, patterns or frequencies. So he'll start to get into, say, rhythm. He's really good at that. It might not sound like much, but it's highly important to see patterns in people, rhythms in people. That's what I do. So allow him to see that, or help him to see that, by like physics exercises and math classes, things like. He might not like it at first, but again, he'll probably like it later on because it makes him, stronger and confident. So again, for you, keeping you on that momentum, for your son, understanding that he has to provide that energy and he can't, and he'll have to provide his own, say, sense of self, and that's where he starts to stabilize on his own. So again, keep doing what you're doing. You might want to just play. The 18 days in the background in the household, and you'll see massive changes. You don't have to listen to it, but just at a low volume. Okay. This one, can you scan my mother? She has been in pain for many months, and doctors are having trouble finding why. Sure. Again, I'm not a doctor in any way, but this is. I'll tell you what I see. So, at the age that your mother's in, that's basically, I think, the age that her mother or father died. And it was kind of seemed like an experience that she never, say, overcame. So it's kind of left an imprint in her memory. So now she's, reaching that age, and it's like, shit, I'm gonna die. So basically, so basically, she's recreating herself in that format, and she's like creating that death experience for her. So I can quickly release it. Other aspects of her is again her bones. Her bones seem like they're inflamed for some reason. So, which is basically. And again, this is just my point of view. I could be totally wrong on this because I'm not a doctor. Blood type issues. Her blood seems to get like thicker and then thinner, thicker and thinner. So the way she produces blood, that's the, well, yeah, let's help her with that. So basically your bone structure, again, inflammation, and then the bones. When your bones hurt, like everything hurts. So and that again, it comes from a death space. And I know it sounds strange, but let's just see. I would suggest doing a longer session with me, especially if this session makes her go, "Gosh, I feel better," which she probably will. There we go. So, yeah. So let's and again comment back, or again in a couple days. Let's see how she feels. All right, because it is more of not say necessarily a physical issue that she has, but more of like a pattern. It's like at this age, I'm supposed to die. So, pattern again from what I explained earlier. Right. So, all right, guys. Let's go. Let's move on to. Moss on Sundays. Eternal Love. So, and yeah, we'll just keep Instagram. It seems like Instagram will go longer than an hour, so we'll just keep Instagram the way it is. So, Eternal Love, what is it? And again, this is Moss on Sundays, where we go into the deep science on why things are the way they are, and then the underlying, say, the deeper top level, say, solutions or answers on why things the way they are. Okay, so just give me 1 second, and this is more of a deep state, say, meditation. And these meditations obviously very different, and many of you are kind of like experiencing an altered state right now, and that's because of the frequencies that I help put you in, and those frequencies, by the way, are very close to nature, just more potent. So when you go to nature, there's something that kind of consumes you, right? You're more present, no matter however way you think about it. You're seeing yourself, say, outside of yourself in nature. That makes sense. You're seeing yourself being more present, right? And that's what it is. You might think it's the fresh air. You might think it's this and that, and it is. But in reality, nature, especially raw nature, you go out into the wilderness, it just like consumes you, and it pushes you into such a present moment state that you start to go, hey, wait, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not that. I'm more like nature. I'm strong, I'm vibrant. And that's how you walk out of nature, well, more strong, more vibrant, more relaxed. But how do you say maintain that natural state? By doing exponential intelligence. Okay. So I'm going to get you into those states. In this scenario, I'll generate, say, frequencies of eternal love. So, and we'll go through these three aspects in this half hour: conventional love and how living from it will never get you to eternal love, and then the equation to achieve eternal love, and then the deep dive meditation. It's a meditative experience. Well, it's a meditation to help you experience eternal love. And it's not, and the difference between these again, these meditations is that it's not where you escape your body. It's not where you say bliss out or escape your body. It's where you bliss inwards. It's where you say feel your grander presence of who you are, that power within. You might call it your spirit, and that comes into you, and you start to live from your timeless self or your spirit self versus your physical self here. And that's where, say, wealth, health, all those things that you've wanted and more start to come into you. So let's jump right in. And if you're wondering who I am, what I do, what am I feeling, or, why is this guy, say, affecting me that way? Again, there's a lot of information on YouTube and my website, sajady.com. So conventional love, living from it will never get you to eternal love. And the reason why that happens is, at this lower state. So there's layers and layers of say, wisdom or consciousness. Okay, so just understanding that concept. So what that means is that, when you're plugged in at a lower level, okay, say, and I'm just going to throw numbers out there just for sake of clarity. Say you're at a level, say, zero consciousness. You're at a level zero consciousness, and 1 second here. There we go. So you're at a level zero consciousness, and in this consciousness, the programming of love dictates, it has to be a certain way. So in this level of consciousness, zero level of consciousness, you can't have access to eternal love. You can't have access to, say, bounteous wealth. Without say sacrifice. You can't have, complete health without something else messing up. So and it's not you. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's not you. Say that you're, playing a video game. You're playing a video game, and there's, if you reach level 2, right? You have more access to, well, more things. You can do a lot more things. You'll have more whatever. More things are available to you. Okay. At the level that you're playing now, though, again, those things are limited. That's the way life works, guys. At this level that you're at, the love that you have is basically based on, say, sacrifice. Think of it. No matter what you do in your paradigm, just think of your life. Just think of your life. Think of everything about love that's happened to you, whether it's your love, or you see it in the movies, or you see it in your family, or you see it in God, whatever it is. In this reality, love equals, again, everything is a program. It's just like an app on your phone. You have, literally, this consciousness has an app, okay, called love. And within it, subgroups: eternal love, this kind of love, and that kind of love, unconditional love, and all that. So in this consciousness, you can't buy an app that defines eternal love. You don't have access to it. Okay, and even if you did, it wouldn't work out for you, because it's a consciousness of, say, a level 10, and I'm just throwing numbers out. You're at level 0. The level 10 consciousness, and you bring that down, okay, it would destroy you here. Okay? And people go, well, how can love destroy me? Well, it has, and I'll just give you examples. So in this reality, and again, think of it from God down to your personal self, you always have to sacrifice something. You always have to give of something for you to feel and experience love. That's the equation of this consciousness. Again, no matter what it is, I gave X amount of my years, I gave all my money, I gave all my time, to raise my kids, and whether they, appreciate it or not, it doesn't matter. That was the love that you gave, right? If you don't go to church or pray 5 times a day, or whatever else the Jewish tradition does and the spiritual traditions do, if you don't do that, then you're not going to receive the love of God, and you're not going to be a good person, and then you're going to go to hell because God's going to condemn you. And then if you don't look like society's patterns of how success should look like, or if you look in the mirror, you don't have the makeup on and all that stuff, or if your body doesn't conform to a certain thing, then I can't love myself. Do you see that pattern? It's like one or the other. Why? And people go, well, why can't I just love me for who I am? It's not you. It's the consciousness that you exist in is the key. And I'll say that again, it's the consciousness that you exist in, guys. It's got nothing to do with you. It's got nothing to do with your body shape. It's nothing to do with your intelligence, how many likes you have on, social media, and all that stuff that you're seeking. It's got nothing to do with that. Although that's what you're searching. You're actually searching eternal love, right? At a deeper level. So what does eternal love mean? We're going to get to that, but let me help you understand, since we're on a roll, and I'm working on you, by the way, as well. And that's what some of you might not be feeling well, or some of you are kind of like awakening to the fact that, like, shit, that wasn't real love. That was like abusive love, or that was like conditional love, and that was, whatever kind of love, but it wasn't the love that I felt. So that's a good thing, because eternal love doesn't have any conditions. It doesn't have, so you're basically say separating your reality is like staying at the level zero, and then your real self is like awakening, and that's what you're feeling. Okay, some of you might be feeling really euphoric. It's like, shit, this feels good. Most likely those people who have done XI. The other ones who are, say, separating their definitions of love, you get to see again from the past, and that it wasn't, say, the best kind of love for you, and maybe it was, but there's a better version out there. So again, in this reality, you have to sacrifice something. There's always, say, a yearning for something or someone to fulfill us. Again, think about it. In this reality, you cannot feel, say, complete love for yourself. You always need to, say, share it with somebody. You always need to either share it with somebody or give it to somebody or take it from somebody. So, and if you do feel, say, that eternal love, you're probably, again, at a higher level of consciousness existing in this reality. Okay, there's people in exponential intelligence, especially from exponential intelligence, that do that. Okay, so I'm not talking about you guys. Okay, you guys are on the right path. But for the most of us here on this call, so let's take a deep breath in, and we'll just get into, say, the deep state, the deep dive meditations, and we'll make it a learning meditative state where I can help you, say, understand, not at a cognitive level, of course, but at a cellular level, so every cell of your being starts to resonate with, say, the intelligence of eternal love. Okay, so again, a deep breath in, and just noticing your solar plex, right between your ribs. So we're going to cover what the equation of eternal love is about. It is an equation. As you notice your spine, your solar plex, and then your spine. So just notice your solar plex and your spine. Strong breath in again. Does that help you generate? Again, you're not feeling my frequencies. That's the key with what I do. I'm helping you create those frequencies on your own. So that way you don't need to get attached to me. I'm not going to be your guru or anything like that. You're going to be self-sufficient. To be or have eternal love, you'd have to be self-sufficient. There we go. So notice how you're feeling. So is there an equation for this? Obviously there is, because how did I put you into that state? So what was the mechanics? You don't want to call it the equation. It's like, well, how did I get you into that state? Even if you don't believe it, right? You'll feel something. Some of you, again, a smaller percentage, will feel some of the emotions of your past, especially if you've been, say, abused and so on, which is really a good place to be on, because you're going back and you're healing yourself. So allow whatever's like showing up for you, for those who have those abuse patterns in your life, allow that to, you're looking at yourself, for example, you're looking at yourself as a higher version of yourself. And you're looking at your childhood experiences. So basically you're reparenting, you're healing your childhood. So allow those patterns to really come out for you, for those individuals. I know it's a small percentage, but it's highly important. That way you can heal yourself. And you can't change what happened to you, but you can change the experiences to make you a stronger, more vibrant, beautiful individual, right? So that's what you want. So again, let's take a deep breath in. In this, kind of getting out of the subject matter, but a lot of people seems like they need help. So breaking you into subgroups, again, say that abusive pattern, allowing you to heal in a nice, safe place, right? So as memories come up, just allow it to come up, watch it, don't fall into it. And then those people who are claiming themselves, starting to again, starting to realize it's like shit. I am worth it. Why did I have to sacrifice myself for this? Why did I have to give up myself for this? Why did I have to, be somebody else for somebody to love me? It doesn't make sense anymore. So again, really fantastic, nice job there. So that's that group, and then obviously, at the other end is those individuals who are, say, percolating up to, say, a higher level of consciousness through the work that they've done. So feeling more of that euphoric type, it's like that grander being type love already. And uh, so those guys are, I don't need to focus them on much, but just keep helping them perpetuate. The other aspect of it is that, I feel lost without anybody. I feel lost without, say, an attachment or somebody around me. So helping you understand that love that you feel or that love that you want from other people actually come inside you. And even if you're with somebody, do you notice that they won't fulfill you? That's why. And you go from, person to person or become a loner. So, and probably subgroups in between, but those are the major subgroups. Let's take a deep breath in again. And by the way, this isn't just a feel-good meditation. I don't know what else to call it. So if you can come up with a good descriptive word on this, because this is literally a rewiring of who you are, right? So it's not psychology. It's not about your psychology, your emotions, and changing those states. It's changing your identity, literally rewiring yourself. So, so now that you understand that love has a certain formula, because I got you into that formula. You're healing from it already. Right? So what is that formula? How do you stay in that space? Right? And I'll help you with that. Let's take a deep breath in again. Let's get you into that higher state of space. So it sounds crazy, but the closer you are to the real time and space, the more euphoric love you'll feel. So I'll just say that again. The closer you are to the real, the one time and space that exists, and it only exists, the more euphoric love you'll feel. So that's the formula. So as we take a deep breath in, and I know that's like, well, how do I get there, right? I'll help you with that. Let's take a deep breath in. So what does that mean? Well, and what does that have to do with time and space? So again, let me share the science behind it so you can understand it. Maybe not at a cognitive level, depending on where you are, but at, say, a cellular knowing, because at a cellular knowing, you already know this stuff. But if you've ever felt euphoric love through like sex, right? Although not long lasting, you'll just pop into that space and then, drop back down because it wasn't good sex. It allowed you to, say, release and escape, right? You feel that euphoric love. That's why, unfortunately, a lot of women, they would, give anything, especially if they've been abused in the past, to have that, say, intimate connection with somebody to pull them into that space. So for those individuals, which is a big group, um, what's happened is that and that's why they crave sex or sexual escapades, guys and of course and women, obviously, not one or the other, but the reason why they would into situations, or you would get into situations like that, is because it allows you to escape your identity of who you are, and then it like puts you into, or pushes you out of time. Okay? That's the key. It pushes you out of time to see yourself in a death space. Sounds crazy, but just hear me out. Puts you in a death space where you say forego your body. Puts you into your spirit body. Again, a death space, right? That's because that's what it is. You cross that veil. So in those situations, for example, sex and drugs and people who say abuse themselves, right? And they feel euphoric. That's the reason why they feel euphoric, is because, again, it disconnects them from their physical body and puts them into, again, a death space. It's an abuse pattern. As we go deeper within your family lineage or a previous lifetime, noticing your chest right here, take a deep breath in. Those types of individuals, and it's a large group, you all might have been running patterns of sacrifice, or patterns of like dark religion, where you would have to sacrifice something for you to experience the love of God or the love of whatever. Or again, real like satanic rituals, or the Masonic rituals, where they would have like the sex parties, and even today they have those, more and more of those coming out. It's not a good thing. Again, it's basically voiding you, disposing your physical body and then moving forward. So let's get rid of that aspect of it. You could feel eternal love, but obviously it doesn't stay with you. Drugs the same way. You separate your physical body, because a lot of you, through your younger days, through rituals, religious rituals nowadays, or spiritual rituals, or ayahuasca, and all those trips that sound cool, DMT and all that stuff, and sound. But in reality, what happens, and many of you experience that void, right? It's like, shit, what happened? Well, this is what happens. So I guess we'll have to talk about that again. A little different than my lecture, but seems like that's what you all need. Again, taking a deep breath in and just noticing your neck area. A lot of you are feeling the bindings or the heaviness of your old patterns. So in those situations, again, what happens is that you leave your body behind. You feel the euphoria of where you should be. Again, your timeless body. Okay, that's the key. That's your timeless body. It's a death space for this reality. So it's your spirit. So you connect to your spirit and whatever, however you want to see it. It's your timeless self. And then what happens is that, well, obviously you didn't die. So you come back into your body, and you feel the drain. You feel the displacement. Your physical body is, say, here, right? Point A. Your spirit body is way the hell out there, point Z and beyond. So that separation, and that's why I say it's about time and space. That separation, when you say awaken from that sexual experience or drug experience, or you did a euphoric event, or you felt some kind of euphoria and all that, and then you come back down, and you hit hard. The reason why, again, is that you start to awaken, which is, you can use it as an advantage for you. You go, shit, I'm actually over here. My higher self, my timeless self, is way the hell over there. And then you want that yearning. And that's where it gets heavier and heavier for those who don't find it. Right? So let's take a deep breath in. So, and that's what I'm saying is about time and space. So what happens, especially through exponential intelligence, XI, your timeless self, your time-bound self, start to merge together. They get closer and closer and closer and closer. And then you start to become an I am state. You start to feel there's no separation. There's no distinction. There's no longing, because, well, you're integrated with yourself. Imagine that. So for the rest of the time, let's get you into that state. The mechanics and the science, you don't have to worry about it. You already know how to do it. Just like, how you breathe in and out, how you exchange oxygen into your blood and the toxins out of your blood, right? You don't know how to do that, but it happens automatically. Your natural state is to feel that eternal love. So let's take a deep breath in and just notice where you are. And I'll be in silence. And just notice your spine, the back of your neck, your spine area. Breath in again. Breath in. Those who feel really shaky, just stay there. You're just going through turbulence as you break through. And then those who are feeling expansive, just note that expansiveness. Again, noticing your spine. Taking a strong breath in again. Again, noticing how you're feeling. Notice it's not psychology. I didn't ask you to visualize things. It's a state of consciousness. It's how you render yourself. And again, if you don't understand it, just allow it to sink in. But we'll go deeper since you all are on the same frequency now. Wonderful breath in again. Notice the potential that's popping up for you. Notice, or what if you could stay in a space? Or better yet, asking yourself, how can I stay in this space? And keep asking yourself, how can I stay in this space more and more? During your waking hours, now that you've been in it, introduced it, you know the path, you'll go back down. And then you just need to clear up the stuff that keeps you, kind of like a balloon, right? You getting rid of that weight so you can ascend on higher. Let's take a deep breath in. As a note, as well, a lot of you in that euphoric state, you might not want to do anything after this. Or you might lose, say, passion for some of the things that you've wanted to do. And again, I explain that the reason why is that because you've wanted to connect with yourself. Right? Well, you did connect with yourself, and that's why you don't have that passion. So allow it to reinvigorate. I guess it's kind of like an orgasm, right? You have your orgasm, and then or you eat a big meal. It's like, are you going to go looking for more food, or are you going to be looking for more sex or whatever it is, right? After you've had that orgasm, it's like, no, you just want to like settle in, relax, maybe enjoy a cigar, whatever it is that you do afterwards, but for sleep. But that's the kind of what you'll feel after this. So it's a Sunday, just take it easy, relax, and just enjoy the time afterwards, and just be in that state and just relish in that state and just love yourself, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Again, you've already achieved where you wanted to go. So just let yourself be and enjoy and reclaim yourself. That's what that's about. All right, guys. Listen up for next week. Again, a fantastic topic that we'll be coming up with in just the next few days. Okay. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, because we're going to be doing a lot of free stuff and a lot of like high-end private stuff as well. For those really waiting and wanting to, live the 1% of the 1% life. So that's coming up for you as well. All right, guys. As we end, this coming up, unity and division, how talking about the presidential election and all that stuff coming through, and then how we can say come back into unity or experience eternal love, throughout the land. Right. That's coming up. Take a look at Sajady.com for details on how to attend that event. So as we end, guys, notice what you notice, and then notice the details of what you're noticing. Peace.